We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Michael.
I'm Mike Larry.
It's like, okay, great. That's
Dudes
wonderful.
do something.
We're all together
Yeah.
for the monumental event.
Mm-hmm.
Bad nerds for life.
Oh,
I want to be mad at that, but I kind of like it.
You should get that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 17 years in the making. Bad Boys for Life. Last one before that was 2003. Bad Boys 2. Now we got Bad Boys for Life.
Which I feel like this should have been the fourth.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have worked, but
So what they gonna call the?
until the monumental success of this movie, what it made like 68 million over the 4 weekend, maybe like 56 over 3 days.
It's a $100 million movie.
It's already made $100 million.
I think it's after this weekend because I think they count Martin Luther King as part of the weekend.
Oh, because it's.
I think they're gonna call it a 3-day weekend, and
I think 3 day was 56 and 4 day was 68.
Yeah, I think it might. I don't know, but they think this may be $100 million within 10 days.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
I mean, it definitely made money.
Congrats.
Yeah,
it's, was it Thursday they announced Bad Boys 4 was already
Well,
the script was
they announced it before because we were talking about it in the newsroom. Bad Boys 4 was already in development before this went into wide release. So, because I was like, inject all of this into my veins.
Yeah. So non-spoilers obviously first, but just kind of quick overall top impressions. Leroy, start with you. We'll go down this way.
I thought it was gonna be the end of the franchise.
Uh-huh.
Now we know that there's going to be another one. I like Bad Boys 1. I've rewatched all of them since this movie come out. 2 is still my favorite. This might be the best one though.
Yeah.
2 is my favorite. 2 is my favorite all time. This still might be but the best Bad Boys yet.
Yeah, I know that when we were reviewing this, the trailers and everything, I was like, "What's the plot?" It just looked like they blowing up stuff. But it really surprised me, and I'm not gonna say anything else because
You regret saying that?
I don't regret anything.
Okay.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. 2020.
2020.
That's how you going into it?
Yeah. But I just want to say, it surprised me. I don't want to say nothing else because I don't say nothing else. I'm probably not gonna say anything for the first 10 minutes of this video. Just to let y'all know because I can't hold water.
I think of the 4 of us, whenever we've done the reactions, I've probably been the most negative about Bad Boys overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
said
still-
it's a racist movie.
I stand by that.
Wait, I was too a racist movie.
Playing.
Yo, yeah.
Go back and watch it.
Yeah. Also,
I don't know what he said.
1 is a very not modern movie.
1 is trash.
Well, not even that, but I just mean in terms of
As far as-
commentary.
if-
like, wow,
if
they
you
say
go
a
back
lot
and
of
watch-
stuff that is like.
Yeah, if you go back and watch, there's a lot of stuff in there. You're like, ooh.
That is a very
cringeworthy.
homophobic movie.
Yeah.
It's like, and Tia Leone does not help.
No.
And she is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Like I rooted against her. I rooted for the bad guys.
So when I saw the first trailer and whatever, it was like, "It's Bad Boys. It's dumb. It's gonna be stupid." But this movie has heart, and I mean that genuinely. This is a
grown-up movie.
Yeah, I mean, as grown up as it can be, this is a movie. 1 and 2 were just action flicks, I think. 1 and 2, this is definitely.
Yeah, it definitely
like I
has
can see
more-
why you're saying 2 is your favorite, but I feel like this is a film that has it's coherent. They did a good job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. Going into the movie, I was like, okay, I know this is gonna be a good movie. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy the action sequences. I don't know exactly how they're gonna do with the story. I'm not exactly sure how they're gonna shoot it. Is everything gonna flow well? But after watching, I was just like, okay, they really put effort into this of making it okay, we just not gonna have just action after action, funny jokes, just random jokes. We're gonna have real conversations that people can have. And honestly, Will Smith did his thing, but Martin Lawrence, he because it's been a while since we've seen him do anything. Whether it's
With good reason.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm still mad at what is it, The Black Knight or whatever that movie was, where he went back in time.
I enjoyed it.
Check it out.
Man, y'all remember Blackstreet? Not Blackstreet, Blue Street.
Yeah,
That was a fun movie. I like.
it was
Blue
okay.
Street.
I still think Money Talks is his best one. No, not Money
Money
Talks.
Money Talks. Isn't that
That's
Chris Tucker?
For a second.
Confuse my black people.
Another
Yeah.
black person.
That's not the right
I'm
comedian.
trying to remember what it is.
Into Rute?
Which one are you talking about?
It's not Blue Streak. It's
When he was a cop in that movie.
no Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Oh, you went back for that.
Yeah, like
Oh,
that.
that's
I
a
still
good
think
Way back.
because that
Yeah.
goes back to your point of Martin Lawrence is a good actor.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
This
And-
reminds me how
this
good an
reminds
actor.
you of how good an actor he is.
And isn't it sad that we're so surprised that movies are coming together and they make sense, like these action movies? I think because we've been so used to just trash
Hobbs and
action movies. Yeah, that was a trash. And so like anything we see, we're like,
Yeah.
you know.
Because-
but this one was really good.
Because piggybacking off what Avery said he knew it was going to be a good movie. I like Bad Boys. I love the franchise. I didn't think, because it came out in January, I wasn't sure it was going to be a good movie. I knew I was going to like it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good. There's a lot of trash stuff that I like that's
I
not
love
good.
bad movies. I'm on the
You know what I'm
record
saying?
for
I love Suicide Squad. That's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I can admit that. So
Shout out to Will
I
Smith.
didn't think it was going to be a good movie. I just knew I was going to like it. But to realize that it was a good movie, I was like, oh. And then I started thinking, why y'all ain't put this effort in some of this other trash y'all was doing?
Yeah.
Because I was like, they grew up. And but I will say this, Michael, you brought up something interesting, that Bad Boys 1 was not a good movie when you look back now.
It was good at that time.
It was,
though.
Product of the time.
each movie,
It
each
I
movie,
think it was fun. I don't know if it's good. Like
It was
even
good.
back then, the plot doesn't make sense.
I
Spoilers for I'm about to say Men in Black. Spoilers for Bad Boys 1. Just tell the girl you're not Mike Lowry. It's fine. That whole movie is solved. Just tell her, no, that's my partner. Give me a second. It's cool.
True, but this is
That ain't necessary.
This is what I will say. Each movie is a snapshot of the time it was made in. If you look at one, or the first Bad Boys, it's a lot of that stuff in there is cringy. You look at 2, some of that stuff is still cringy, but if you look at the spectacle that it is, that was what a movie looked like when that movie came out. And now you look at this movie, Bad Boys has evolved with the times, because I was really shocked that this movie didn't have a lot of the Miami stuff that it had in Bad Boys 2. Because remember, in Bad Boys 2, that's when everybody was rolling ATVs. You know,
Yeah.
Diddy was like, I Need a Girl, part 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying?
Diddy had Shake Your Tail Feather
You know what
for
I'm saying?
Bad
Like,
Boys 2.
if you remember that,
Yeah.
it was bright.
Yeah.
And you look at this one, you're like, it doesn't look like any of the rest of them
Yeah.
because they grew up.
Yeah.
So that's
And
What?
going on, I'm trying to figure out where's the director at.
up here. It's
Yeah.
it's 2 guys.
We didn't have Michael Bay direct this.
Nope.
So
Which I think
that is a big difference
yeah,
too.
Big difference.
You can tell it's we talked about the spectacle. There is spectacle in this movie, but it is not on the same level as 1 and 2 were.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more dialed back because you got Bilal Fallah and Adil El Ari.
Yeah, I wouldn't go say those names. And I think it's by Lau.
Yeah.
I think that's by Lau.
Cool.
The
Music video guys. Those guys just do music videos.
this is what I
know
will
that.
say. This movie is a spectacle, but it's not the blockbuster spectacle we're used to. Because if I remember correctly, Bad Boys 2 was a summer movie.
I think so.
And so this is a January movie. And
King Day.
if you think about some of these movies
Kinda, yeah.
that come out in January, they're more compact. They're more cerebral. They don't, you don't normally get a very good movie in January because that's what a lot of people are like. Oh, they're dumping it in January. It's not gonna be good. This was
They're changing
really-
it up. I
Yeah,
don't
this
think about that no
was
more.
really good. Like I put this against anything Will Smith did
Last year,
last 2-3 years maybe.
Spies in Disguise is still a very good movie, and I stand by that.
I knew you
I'm
were
not
gonna
mad
say
at you for that because I haven't seen it. It could be
I knew
good.
you were gonna say that.
So this is Will Smith's best movie since when?
Apparently, Spies in Disguise.
I watched Gemini Man. I don't know if you guys saw it. I thought it was okay, but I thought it was a movie out of time. Like that was a movie that would have came out 10 years ago.
Well, they've been trying to make it since like Harrison Ford. When he
Yeah.
attached to it or something?
Yeah, it was everybody. All of us have been attached to that movie at some point.
Yeah, it was a lot of actors have been attached
Like
to
I
it.
literally, Avery Ledwell. Like why is that?
Yeah.
Like that movie's. They've been trying to make that for a while. But if you think about how, I don't want to say how bad, but if you think about how much went into this movie, the heart that you guys talked about, Will Smith's heart movies have been kind of lacking recently. You know, they hadn't been that great. This was really good.
Yeah.
Go see it, y'all. If you haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
go see it. Drop everything.
Very
Everything
worth
goes.
And I will say this. Lauren brought this up before.
Drop everything.
This is how you cut a trailer.
Yeah, man, cause whoop, I was whoop.
See what I'm saying? Like
I can't speak yet. I can't, so I'm just holding it back.
But the trailer,
the trailer gave us enough to bring us in because you have the Bad Boys fans who like, you know, been there for life, with lack of a better word. And so
I made Katie watch that in her sleep.
we're praying for Katie right now. And then you also have the people who just really enjoy both Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and so I think they were able to bring in people that they knew were going to go see this movie anyway, but then deliver a good a good reveal, a good product, a good film, and I was really pleased with the fact that they did not give anything away in that trailer, even though they had some of those scenes.
Yeah.
It still didn't give away when that scene was going to come up, where, because
a lot of it was out of context.
a lot of it was out of context. And I'll tell you, Hobbs and Shaw, I was waiting on certain scenes to come up because
Because
I
you
knew
knew
that
what
was
was
going to
happening.
come.
Yep.
And that was like a big action scene.
Because it literally was shot for shot. The trailer went in the way
Yeah,
the
I almost
movie-
wanna go back and watch it.
I looked at my phone. I was like, okay, we've been here for like an hour and a half, so we're going to have to go to Hawaii next.
Yeah.
And then we went to Hawaii.
Samoa.
Or, excuse me, Samoa.
You right.
Shout out to Joey Pantoliano. I always like him and everything that he does. I think he's great in this movie. It was great to see the Chief back.
Yeah.
He kind of does the same role and everything, though. At least he brings the same tone.
And I'm fine with it because the way he acts in this reminds me. Have you guys seen what's the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's a cop in a movie, but it's like he goes into the real world?
Last Action Hero.
Yes, that's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of like
Really? That's the one that almost killed his career, though.
Yeah, but like looking back on it now, it's very ahead of its time in terms
Really?
of
Okay.
it kind of lampoons that whole '90s, '80s machismo stuff, and that the Chief
It
in
was
that
not, because you're right, it was not well received when
it
it
wasn't.
came out.
The Chief in that is just over the top, and that's how Joey Pants reminds me. And I like that. And he
I
kept that.
liked him in this, and again, I say this because we've all watched the movie. If you're watching this, you've probably watched it or seen at least some of them. It seemed to be like they were kind of coming out of that cartoony stuff that they used to do, and they were adults because they're older. When you watch it, you're like, oh, they are adults. They're grown-ups. They're still playing.
Sorry, I thought about something.
But they are grown-ups. Like they are like Martin Lawrence was a dad, but he didn't always seem like a dad in those movies. You know? Like he didn't seem like a real dad. This one he was a dad in this
dad
movie.
stuff.
I was like, oh man, my dad does that. It really was like a grown-up movie where you watch these characters grow up and you see them and they mature.
Yeah.
Mature.
This isn't like Martin and Will going into this movie saying, "All right, I gotta be Mike Lowry. I gotta be, you know, what was Martin's character? Marcus.
Yeah.
We gotta be
Marcus Burnett.
Marcus from
Marcus
like how
Burnett.
it was. It's like no, we've grown. Our
We're going to be
fans have
ourselves,
grown.
honestly.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring them a more mature, more grown, more in-depth
Yep.
character.
We gonna rate it or what?
I say this is the best one. 2 is still my favorite. I give this a 4 out of 5 gun battles.
Okay.
Yeah,
was not welcome in this house. That's my favorite part of it too.
I give it 5 as well. Out of 5.
5 out of 5. Okay, 5 out of 5. What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Midnight Cocoa Bean packs.
Okay. All right. I give it a 4 out of 5 dual wielding guns. That's 4 out of 5 dual wielding guns.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5 Porsche.
Okay.
Whatever style car that
Yeah.
Mike Lowry was driving.
All right. So Lauren, take it away.
Midnight Cocoa Bean.
Is that your spoiler
That's
thing?
your
Is that what
spoiler?
that means for spoilers?
Yeah, I thought
code
you were
word?
about to do your
Oh, my arms.
yeah, you was.
Spoiler.
What is happening?
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
I'm not.
Lost it. I lost
not.
it for a
I
second.
literally
That's-
did. I was like, "That's
Nope.
Lauren. Take it over. Take it away."
I'm keeping all that.
Midnight Cocoa.
I
Bean.
literally, and she literally sat there like she
She
was
was
buffering.
listening
She was
like
like-
conditioners and
I
stuff.
killed it, y'all. Midnight Cocoa Bean killed it.
You know what it reminded me of? Who was it who threw that? Who made that shot and then turned around and that didn't even hit the net?
Swaggy P.
Yes. I was like, son.
All right, yeah, spoilers.
Oh,
So
Lakers play
get
Celtics
ready.
tonight.
Yo,
Y'all just jump in wherever. I don't know where you want to go.
Yeah. When you go back to these people being mature and the dad stuff and everything, I think they did a really good job. Martin did a really good job just
Yeah.
being a regular dude, almost thrown into everything.
So I'm not trying to be funny. I didn't like Martin in this.
really?
You didn't?
I something about the way he talked, his speech seemed slurred to me. It seemed slow.
Might have
Like
been
I,
cheeks.
I thought something
Cheeks
was
bigger.
Yeah, but I thought something was literally wrong with Martin Lawrence. To me, he just seemed slow. Like he just seems off.
But
I don't know.
to me, I liked him because that was a
Regular
granddad.
dude.
That was
Yeah.
a regular dude.
Yeah.
Driving the car. I'm with
Breaking
my baby.
stuff at
yeah.
home.
Just I'm sorry. Like man, when that TV went out, I felt that. Like as long as I've been trying to get this TV, and if that had been I'd have cried.
I got to talk to you off this about the TV I'm thinking about buying tonight.
Cool.
Yeah. I talked to
Making
everybody about
moves.
it.
Yeah,
No,
Making
I'm
I'm
moves.
always gonna hype you up to buy something you don't
Yeah.
need.
I don't need it, but I definitely want it.
I
don't need it.
Especially after you just bought that big old Legos house. I'm like,
I'm just saying I want the TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Martin. Let's just get it out there. Joey Pants. That caught me so off guard.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
He wasn't on the list originally.
What
The
list?
hit list.
The hit list.
But to me, I don't think he was the one part of the hit list. I think he was the modified hit list where they were trying to make
Oh, because
Mike Lowry's
they went
character
out of
suffer.
order.
So
Yeah.
I think that's where like it wasn't that he was part of that people that arrested the Aretas gang. It was that he was a close.
He was
He was a father figure.
He
He was a father figure to Mike Lowry.
And that to me, that's when I'm gonna be honest with you. That's when I realized I was like, oh, they're not playing. That was a moment in the movie where I was like, oh, this is not the Bad Boys I'm used to.
It caught me in two ways because I thought that they were going to kill Rita, his love interest.
Originally, I thought she was in on it.
Okay, because I
that would
thought
be a nice twist.
That's my new love interest.
I thought that they were going to kill her, and I was going to be like, here we go, they're fridging a female character, killing her off. So that's what I was expecting to happen. It didn't happen, and they went after him. And then when I realized, oh, they're not going to kill her, I thought that he was going to get in the car and it was going to blow up. No, they shot him. That was, it was wild.
The
Straight
whole
to the
time,
throat.
Yeah.
the whole time I was like, okay, we're growing up because Mike Lowry gets shot, and I was that caught me off guard too, but it didn't catch me off guard. It was more real because Marcus Burnett, aka Martin Lawrence, got shot in the ass in the second one, and that was funny. Like the whole, if you remember, he was sitting there. Who shot you in the ass? I shot you in the ass? There was a lot of shooting. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't.
It was like the placement of that. You knew he was going to get better. You knew he was going to
Yeah.
continue going on through the rest of the movie. So it wasn't like, oh, he got shot and it's so devastating. He's not going to come back. We know he's going to come back.
That's how I felt about that shooting too, because like you said, the trailer did a good job not showing stuff, but at the
Yeah.
same time, there's still stuff we hadn't seen the trailers. Like, you're not going to kill him this early in the movie,
Right.
But
So when they went to 6 months, like, well, it's not his funeral clearly because there's still stuff that has to happen. in the
True,
movie.
Yeah.
but the idea that it was so gruesome and it was so real, like the violence in this was more real than I think in a lot of the earlier movies.
This is not explosion.
No, it wasn't. It was like you saw him get hit, you saw him get rushed to the hospital, you saw that, and unfortunately, the business we work in, we have seen officer-involved shootings where officers are hit, and we have seen that, and we know how real that is. And to me, that looked more real than the other movies.
Yeah.
I want to say something that wasn't real.
What?
If a person on a bike shoots somebody several times, a reputable news organization is not going to run it. Not like that. Because when that happened in the movie, you know, when the news organization like, no news organization is going to show somebody dying on camera.
I mean,
Yeah,
the news
yeah,
makes
they
me
ran
do
that.
horror movies differently.
Not a
Like,
reputable
we wouldn't-
organization.
we
They
wouldn't.
ran
I
that
will say this.
a couple times. It was weird.
It's like,
I disagree.
no,
I think-
are you
There
going to
will
do
be
it?
a blurred.
I think-
Right, you're
I
not
think
gonna
Something
show
will be blurred.
In today's media, in a
You talking about
in
the
a-
major
in a
networks.
ma-
You're not
in-
talking about local.
I'm saying in today's media, they would have done it. You want to know
Disagree.
why?
Why?
Because CBS was it 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
the Parkland shooting,
Uh-huh.
played the Twitter, all that stuff when the shooting was going on in the Parkland shooting.
When was that?
That
It
was
was
during
during
the
the
shooting.
shooting.
And, you know,
Right.
breaking
This-
is crazy.
this wasn't
that was
during.
not because
And
breaking
what-
anything
And
happens in breaking.
what I'm saying is, that's why I said I pushed back a little bit because the way newsrooms are being run now and the way everybody's about these clicks.
Yeah.
And our news director was like, "We're not doing that."
Yeah.
I can see a news organization doing that and then apologizing for it later. And the reason why I said it is because I distinctly remember when Parkland happened and we were all sitting in the newsroom and we were like, that's in real time.
Yeah.
And Julie came spirited out of her office and was like, no. And she made it clear that's not what we are going to do. So that's why I was like, before I would have been like, that's a little far fetched. Now,
The only reason why I push back is because it wasn't breaking when it happened.
And I said it.
Because
I said
he
it during,
uploaded it to a
Yeah,
server.
he
I was like,
uploaded it. And I said it in the movie. I was like, they wasn't running that for real.
Like, did y'all
Yeah, we
authenticate
talking.
this?
I talked.
yeah, I was like,
That's
that's
what-
really
that's
right.
that's what-
over.
Yeah,
that's why I was
Like-
like, they wouldn't, but then I was like, this is the thing, because he was okay, and because he was living, that's why I said I think they would have run it. Because remember, they had the article, Hero Cop Survives, and he was reading that paper, and he was like, or he was reading on the computer, and he was like, I got to get this mofo. And so that's why I was like,
Fake news organization, I won't work for you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I won't support that. But y'all go ahead.
but yeah, I like that moment. What kind of woke me up that I was like, there's stakes in this movie, and that's where I was like, okay. And then the conversations where finally Mark Burnett was like, I'm not doing this. You died. I'm not following you up with this foolishness.
Yeah.
And he was mad. And you see, we all have friends when y'all beef. It was funny when he was calling him quitter on his phone. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not answering. You know how when you,
Yeah.
regardless of whether it's a friendship or relationship, you know when you see that phone and you like, you mad, and you like, I'm not answering this. And so that's why I said these stakes, they matured because it seemed more real for me. And that's why I said when Joey Pants went, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know
Michael
what
Bay
I'm
was
I didn't
the
realize
MC.
my
Yeah,
dad was
that's
what
Michael
an
Bay.
MC.
Yeah.
You don't know what Michael Bay looked like?
I've seen Michael Bay
Because as soon as I saw him, I was
before,
like, look at Michael Bay in the movie. And it was...
Not directing it.
Yeah.
So when you guys, in your theaters, did that get a reaction to see Michael Bay?
No.
Not a
I
lot.
was the only person in my theater who knew who
Absolutely
that was.
nobody.
Nobody really knew. There were a couple of people I could tell like did the Shaggy.
Yeah.
But nobody really understood that was
Yeah.
Michael Bay.
I saw it at the Regal on Forest Drive. Maybe like 20 people in theater. I was like, yeah, I was the only one. Nobody else knew.
I'm
who
gonna
that
tell
was.
you what got the biggest reaction in my theater when Reggie popped up.
Yeah, when Reggie popped out, everybody was like, oh!
Reggie,
That was cool that they got Reggie back, and they also got the girl back. That was
Yeah.
also the girl who
Yeah.
played
Reggie,
daughter.
when Reggie, he was like, and
The
I,
same neck.
son, when he
Reggie
told
got
Reggie,
tall, shot.
when he told Reggie, remember Reggie
was
was
already
tall.
tall.
Reggie
Yeah,
was
that's
tall.
true.
Remember the shot when Reggie came in, they looked up, and Martin was like, this. And
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That was really good.
Yeah,
That
that was
was-
cool to see Reggie back.
I really enjoyed. I didn't see Kate Del Castillo, who's played Isabel Aritas. She was. First of all, from the Prison Break,
she was
to,
a lover. Hey man, a lover
to
scorned.
She
here's
was
the
great.
list. She was great. And I was like, she better come out of this prison and then get her outfits, right, her hair done and stuff, and be back on top, boss lady status. Let's get this money. We know where it's buried.
All I know is, bruh, so
Like-
if you ever mess over a woman,
She wasn't a regular. I mean, she was.
She was
It don't
into
matter.
that Santa Maria though.
it didn't matter.
I swear I thought she was about to conjure up like a
Yeah,
like
she
a church
could have, and we would have been okay
son,
with it.
Son, that was an angry, mad woman.
Yeah, but once we realized why, we were like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
I liked her because she was kind of over the top, right? But
Yeah.
it worked in the movie. We talked
It
about
worked.
how grounded the movie worked, but even with her being over the top, we still bought into it because
Yeah.
of her being scorned and all that stuff. And
I love her scorn.
her introduction was great.
Yeah.
In terms of her chanting whatever that was, and the guard
Yeah.
was so scared. Because at first I was like, why don't you just hit her in the face? But I guess whatever her culture, she believes in us so much, she was
That's
just
Not
like,
only that,
Don't
she
mess
knew.
with that.
Not only that, she kind of knew who it was.
Yeah, you know.
Because at first she probably, you know who you can bully and who you can't.
And we get a little bit of power. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, but they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like, yeah, but I was shocked.
And they put her in the washing machine
yeah.
and had she drenched herself in old girl's blood to get taken out of there.
Yeah,
quick.
that was cool.
That was insane.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
Silence of the Lambs.
All right.
That's how old boy got out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that one up.
Old boy
Okay.
ate his face off and put it on his face.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
Shout out to Isabella having an incredible prison photo. Did y'all notice
Yeah, that
When
photo
I
was-
like, that's a model
They
looking
took her.
shot.
I guess I did that picture like way back in the day.
Yeah, like that's a good looking prison photo. Look like she
Yeah.
got some wind going on and
She
whatnot.
been in there for a
Tyra would
minute.
approve.
Yeah.
She was smizing and everything. I don't know when they pulled that photo out.
I like the introduction of the kids and
Emma?
Ammo and new policing.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
again, it showed that juxtaposition of
There's a different time.
not only that, because remember back in the day they would just go in guns a
Yeah.
blazing.
Yes.
And they would, and this
It's like
one
we
he-
don't need to. We have drones.
Yeah, and he was like, "You got what?"
Drones.
And
It's happening now.
And they said that in the bullets that they said, did they say like ACLU bullets
They
or something?
weren't-
they were approved by the
non-lethal.
ACLU. They were
Yeah, non-lethal rubber
They were
bullets.
rubber
Yeah.
bullets.
That was interesting.
And he was like, he said, "I'm out here shooting gummy bears."
They don't know that we got rubber bullets. They not, participating in this rubber bullet
was-
situation.
Even looking back at the trailer, I swear I didn't realize that was Vanessa Hudgens.
Me
In
either.
that
I didn't
movie.
realize it
I
till
think-
right now,
I knew
and
it
I was
was
like,
her. I knew it was
When
her.
we first saw the, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When we first saw the trailer, I didn't realize it was her. But then when we looked up the names, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
I knew
just
it was
seeing
her.
it, I didn't know.
Because she's been in a lot of stuff that I've been watching lately. She was in Powerless. She was also in Polar on the Netflix movie. And I seen her face and I was like, oh. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's doing more than just that teen stuff.
Yeah.
She's actually in...
Her and
Zac Efron?
yes, that's the
Yeah.
one.
And then the other guy that I
He's
didn't
in there.
realize... I didn't realize it was the guy who was with Yara Shahidi, her last romantic movie she did.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Asian guy.
Charles Melton?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
him. I didn't realize that. And the thing is, I watched part of that movie, still didn't recognize that was him because he played such a different character.
Yeah.
Because Will Smith
He's
was
more
like,
of a bro. And
he was like, there's always that one.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Until
there's
there's
not.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that line. Writing was good.
Yeah, the writing was good.
The writing was okay.
Well, I mean, we predicted some of the lines, like, he's a effed
It's-
up version of me, and it's like, no, you the effed up version of you.
Son.
Yeah.
They tried to do a moment in the movie, but the scene where the captain is sitting down with Mike Lowry at the
Yeah.
basketball game, and he's trying to give like this parable or
Yeah.
whatever. And usually, like in a dramatic show, they can pull it off, like on an AMC show. Like, oh, I understand what the parable was. That parable made no sense.
What
To
did
me-
he even
and
say?
they-
I
and
can't
the-
remember what he said.
To me, it did. Because I've heard it before.
You're running the wrong way. What
Yeah,
did he say?
you're
running the
the
wrong
horse is leading you instead of you leading
I
the
don't
horse.
know.
And it's basically like, and that's because I've heard that before. For the one thing I loved about this movie was it's something that you don't see a lot of times, and the reason why I said that I've heard that parable. It's been told to, it's been used on me before.
Okay.
One of the things that I liked about this movie was not a lot of times that we saw it a little bit in two. Black men sharing their feelings, how they feel about stuff.
Speak on it, brother.
And then you have this moment where you're like, here's somebody reaching out to you and saying, you need to change your life. And it wasn't done in a comical way. And so me, I liked it. I appreciated it.
That was the scene
because
that was in the kitchen you talking about, right?
in the kitchen. And he
Yeah, that's
was
like that was one of my favorite
and I was
scenes
like,
off the
and
movie.
it was this whole thing where I felt like, and I wouldn't have been mad. He held it back. I wouldn't have been mad if Will Smith cried a little bit. He was like, this dude shot me. He tried to kill me. He's like, and you not go. That really got me. And it reminded me of that time when Gabrielle Union got kidnapped. And he was like, man, it's my sister. And he was like, we bad boys for life. And I was like, I felt that. But in this one, it was a little more grounded. And when the captain had that moment, he was like, what is driving you? You can't keep doing this forever. And that, to me, that was when that moment I was like, oh, this is a good little reel. And then when Joey Pants, I was like, I wasn't ready for that. I really wasn't. To me, it was a good moment to where you had this great tender moment, and then you took him out, and that's when it became real. And that's, to me, when the stakes went up, and I was like, this is more of an adult movie.
And he was more serious about everything too, because he ended up coming out to Marcus about, hey, you know, this is what happened back before I even really got my footing as an officer, and the reason why I dressed like a drug dealer is because of
Crazy about this woman. I
She was like,
She made
Mike Lowry.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a lot to take in when he had that down. I was like, you was part of cartel? What the
And remember, Martin was like, and he was like, that's what you gonna say, just poor boy. He was like, hey man, that's a lot to take
It's a
in.
lot to
Yeah.
take in.
And you just,
He said, you mess with a witch
Without a condom. Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. Would you mess with a witch without a condom?
he said,
That was a good scene on the
he said,
airplane
hold
for
on.
sure.
He said, that's your
Let me
son?
switch seats.
Oh
Yeah.
man, like that whole.
And I was not expecting that, and so I was like, "Thank you for that reveal," because I was not expecting that. I don't know what I thought.
The
was
funniest
really
thing is, like,
driving
now going back and you look at it, you're like, oh, he the Latin Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
I was like, I see it now. If you
I
go
don't-
back and look at two, and look at how Will Smith had the goatee all lined up with the turtleneck. Remember, and I was like, oh, I see it now.
I like the choreography that guy had in terms of his fighting style was really
It was
sick.
insane.
He
When he
whipped
pulled
Mike
that
Lowry's
knife,
ass.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but before that, like when we first seen with that knife, when he pulled it
yeah.
out and just,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
With
And
Nicky
this,
Jam in them,
this
or was it no Nicky J? Is that old boy's name?
Zway-lo or whoever.
Zway-lo.
Yeah.
I think it's Nicky Jam.
Zway-lo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicky Jam. Because I think his music is in the in the movie, right? Yeah. This movie was also, even though it wasn't as much of a spectacle as 2, I think
Sexy.
the violence was more intense.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely more. It was more visceral. It was in your face for sure. I don't know if that is because the shots were closer or what about that made it, but it was definitely just more.
And
I feel like you lived in the scene more with this.
it also because they weren't wide. As far as
Michael
like,
Bay likes to shoot wide.
He
with
is-
47 people lined
think
up
about
walking.
it. Like, we talked
Yeah.
like,
explosions in the
we talked
background.
about Underground 6. That's a Michael Bay film.
I almost turned that film off too because
'Cause
I was just
it's
like,
so-
God, it's so Michael
it's
Bay.
a lot. There's something going on all the
That's
time.
It's like
He went full Michael Bay.
you can't go for Michael Bay. Nobody should.
Hey, I liked it, but man, you're right. He went full Michael Bay. Like,
Yeah.
there was nobody to be like, Mike, maybe we not. Because remember
It's
when their
Netflix,
bodies
whatever.
falling off the building and you saw them bounce and I was like,
Yeah.
man, this 4K, is that blood?
Yeah, this
And
is
it
was
wild.
insane.
And remember, there really wasn't that big of a car chase scene like there was in 2. Like, when they remember, he was like, they throwing cars. How did I not see that? There wasn't that. It
Yeah.
was,
This was definitely I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but this was definitely a smaller budget, and that was both. I mean, I guess it's kind of good and bad. You don't have as much spectacle, but they probably couldn't afford as much spectacle.
I still appreciated the chase though when they were trying to chase Swaylo. And you had,
was a good chase.
you had them in the Martin Lawrence
On the
was in
sidecar?
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to use violence or whatever. Like, bro, if you don't, they shoot
No.
us.
He said,
He said,
that whole.
God bless you.
That's when I was like, man, I was like, okay, that whole scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
When he was like, man, I pray for your soul.
And then he had the gun. I wish he would have been able to turn it around and shoot people behind them, but I thought that was still really good. It had the use of that machine gun on a sidecar.
Yeah.
I shout out because my biggest gripe was Gabrielle Union wasn't in this. Because I really
She's too busy filming the second season of LA's
Gabrielle-
Finest.
Gabrielle had it.
What?
I want to push you out that chair for go for.
It's the truth.
I understand that, but how you not have?
In
They-
there,
they-
in there.
Yeah, she has a show that's a offshoot of Bad Boys
With
her
Jessica
Jessica
Alba.
Alba.
In
That
their
comes on
interview
Audience
that
or
they
something?
had
It's on Spectrum.
Spectrum? Okay.
Yeah, it's on Spectrum. I don't know. But in
It's free. If you're on Spectrum, just click on go up,
No
say
reviews
Spectrum
for that.
Originals. Go up, it'll say live Spectrum Originals, and it'll be there.
in their
Okay.
interview that they had with I don't really bring up Breakfast Club, but the Breakfast Club, they had an interview and they asked about why wasn't Gabrielle Union in this, and they said that because they took a different writing, like
Yeah.
a different storyline for it, and so she just didn't fit in that storyline. I don't know where
they
she
gave
would
her
have
a
fit.
line.
They
shot her a
mentioned-
line for a second.
But I don't know where she would have fit because
That
you
was-
had too many women in Mike's life anyway in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Lowry.
I would have liked to seen her when he got shot. That just an homage, like
Just in the hospital for a
basically
second.
like
Come
that.
in for a
Or
second.
her at the wedding?
Yeah,
maybe?
I would
something like that. Because I was like, that's a little weird. Your
Like,
sister.
your sister didn't come to the wedding?
His wife back though. Marcus's wife. Back.
Teresa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Teresa
Yeah.
Randall.
Yeah.
Teresa Randall, is that her name?
Yeah, because I know it's Teresa, but I think
Yeah.
that's also her real name.
But
too.
you know what I liked, and I was really taken aback by how much I liked her.
Rita?
Rita. I was like,
First of all, she's beautiful.
one, she's beautiful, but two, she held her own. Because that scene with her, Joey Pants, and Mike Lowry walking, and that banter back and forth, and then you could see her, and I was like, I knew she was going to become the captain, and I was like, I was okay with it, because she could hold her own, and she kind of kept Mike in check. I really
Michael.
like,
Calling him Michael.
I'm calling him Mike.
Yeah, it's like no, I'm not saying she
Oh,
called him
yeah,
Michael.
you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like
'Cause she could
everybody
do
else
that.
called everybody else called him Mike. No, I
And she's
call
like,
him
okay.
Michael.
And so,
That's your name.
and it was almost kind of like she was a mother
Yeah.
with with ammo,
Mhm.
but then had to be like to me she really worked,
She did a good job.
and I was like, oh, and shout out to Bad Boys for making an age appropriate love interest. She's only 4 years younger than Will Smith, because
they
if you-
like doing these.
man, Will Smith about 57 years
10-year-olds.
old.
He's 51.
And then they'll have somebody out there 16, You know what I'm saying? Like, look at some
What
of
could
these
have
movies.
happened was Vanessa
Judges.
Hudgens could have been the
You're
love
right.
interest. That
And
could have
you're
been
like,
a way
that's not-
And that would have been like,
That would have been bad.
like if they had made Bad Boys 3 and everybody like, you know,
If Michael Bay had done it, it'd
right,
have been
Vanessa Hudgens could have been the love interest.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. That's,
see-
that's going full Michael Bay.
And that's another one.
Yeah.
Never go full Michael Bay. Michael Bay, I
Yep.
love you. I'm sorry.
Friend of the show, come
Friend of
talk
the
to us
show.
about it.
but you know what you do. Dang.
But yeah, I was like, I was looking, I was like, no, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I was like, she's not young. She's like, I could like.
She's a grown woman.
That's a grown woman.
With a career.
And I was
Yeah.
like, thank
and
you.
skills.
Not
like, can
don't,
do.
don't put a kid next to this old man so
Yeah.
it looks lecherous.
And she had real character, so it wasn't just like I'm just a pretty
Yes.
face, you know. So I really appreciated the character development for her as well, and just like the way they wrote these characters was really good because you still had the big dude that was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do tech things, and Mike was like, yo, he just big for no reason, or and then we realized why, and he's like, I don't pay for therapy for everybody after this.
And also, you didn't save her. She
saved you?
She's how many times did she save him?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Because she showed up with ammo with the van.
Yeah.
She showed up with ammo in Mexico. So I could really appreciate. That's why I said this is a more mature movie. Because if this was a '90s, early 2000 movie,
And this came out in 2006
you'd
or
have
something.
seen half of her breast assists on one side. She'd have had her hair.
Yeah, even the dress that she wore
Yes.
to the club was still. I mean, like I know she
Man.
probably needed somewhere to put guns and stuff, but it was still like
son, that gold
it
dress.
was a sexy dress without her being too revealing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That gold
It
dress.
was
I
really
like-
nice.
I was like,
Trying to think
yo.
where she put
I don't know where she put stuff, but
She had it like the Wonder Woman. She had it back
I
there. She had
don't
a
know.
sniper rifle. She pulled it out.
I don't know. But that dress was painted on almost, but she looked great, and it wasn't like
Yeah.
super.
Yeah.
And I said it before that I wasn't a fan of the writing, but this I did enjoy the writing for her because they talked about the fact that they had a history, her and Mike
Yes.
Lowry. And for a second, I almost thought she was in Bad Boys 2. I forgot that she wasn't in Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe
'Cause it
she was a
seemed so
character.
natural.
It did. Because I kept thinking, wait, was there like a Hispanic woman that was in Bad
There
Boys
was.
2?
She was the therapist that he banged.
Okay, that's what it was. That's what I was like, is there somebody in it? But
I told
they
you.
did-
Oh, shit.
I done watched Bad Boys 2 probably 7 times.
they did a good job making her look like, oh, she is part of this world, and she wasn't just added for this, even though she
And
was.
again, like I said, that's why I said this movie was more mature, was grounded,
Yeah.
and it felt natural. Like it felt like the natural movie. And I'll be honest with you, they could have just left it and not had that moment at the end where it turned into a Marvel franchise.
Yeah,
And I
You think Marvel? I was gonna say Fast and Furious.
either, but
both.
both.
I was like, this is Jason Statham all over again.
but basically,
I got a job for you.
But that's
you
what-
killed a bunch of people.
but that's why I was like, yo, I was
He killed Han.
Right.
Damn.
Justice for Han 2020.
Man.
But yeah, I was cool with this being the last one because it was, to me, it was that good.
Yeah.
And I
It was
was
very close in setting. They could have gone on.
It was,
Yeah.
and so I was like, when they did that, I was like, oh, you going? Because I got up and I'm about to walk out, and then everybody,
Everybody, I stayed, but everybody else was walking.
and they
like,
were, and then
"There's still
when
more."
we saw that shot, we was like, wait, what? And I heard somebody said, oh, they about to marvel this blank up, and I was like,
What theater did you go to?
I went to Regal,
Oh, okay.
Sandhill.
Saying, oh, I did too.
That's
What,
what-
what day did you? Oh,
I
you
went
went
early,
early.
yeah,
though.
'cause I-
All right, I went
I-
Saturday.
So I had a funeral to go to, and I need to cheer up. I was like,
A whole
man,
bunch of people.
I was like, I told Katie, I was like, you know what? This is love right here. You know why? She was like, why? I said, I'm not gonna make you go to Bad Boys. And she was like, this is.
She would have enjoyed it though.
She would
maybe.
have. She would have. But she was like,
I don't want to. Yeah.
I'm not allowed to watch those during the daytime
But it was.
because I play them too much.
It was.
It wouldn't have been more it couldn't even be more Marvel if he went in there and said, I'm assembling in a city.
Yeah, I mean, essentially,
He could have just said that.
he had some folders in his hand.
Yeah, no.
Because I was like, oh, that's what we doing? I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm
And
down.
I really enjoyed the whole, like, we're down here, yeah, we have this equipment that we got from some government agency, but there's also equipment that's off the books, so if we do die, they don't have to worry about us.
I do like that they just go into a different country every movie now.
Right.
They do whatever they want. It's like they just have diplomatic immunity.
It reminded me of too when he was like when they got on the plane and I was like, and then Marcus, I love Martin in this movie. Martin, when he was like, okay, this right here, and he was, and
Excuse me.
he was like, you shouldn't be listening to grown folk anyway.
The girls- But I love the comedy in this. Even like when he was in the hospital and he was talking about the
Cocoa bean.
midnight cocoa bean, and he was actually putting it on his
that was touching.
his facial hair because he
Not-
knew he was covering that up.
But the thing is that they admitted it. He
Yeah.
was like, I know you dye your beard or you go tea. And I was like, oh, you. I was like, that hit a little too. I was like,
Some of y'all out there wearing
I
midnight
was
cocoa
like,
bean
I
right
was
now.
like, I know that feeling, sir.
Ain't no shame.
I was
Like,
like,
yo,
ooh.
you 50, why you ain't got
But
your soft
I will
on
say
though?
this. This is what I know. People, Chris hit me up with this. Chris said, if you see a black dude over 30 with a full black anything, he's like, he dyes that. And I was like, no, Chris, I was young. I was like, no, Chris, I don't. I'll be in the back. I remember when Chris told me that back in the day. It was Jerome Bettis on NFL Countdown. Chris was like, he dyes his beard and his hair. I was like, Chris, he just might have good genetics. Man, when I hit that.
It's okay. Let it. It's okay. All right.
Only got
Be
about
you.
2 more years.
So he gonna be hitting us up with that beige.
Oh, I like the progressing of time over here. I mean, not you. Obviously, I'm just saying because I got slowly with the whites and there it's just
Dude.
yeah.
Let me
I got
tell you.
one strong gray back here that
Yeah.
they don't curl
Son,
right.
I was 27 the first.
Baby, like,
Son,
I want to be straight.
I was 27 the
Oh,
first time
shoot.
I saw Gray when I was in Charleston. And I was in the mirror. I was trying something on, and I was. That's not.
Oh,
I
ain't the light.
I ain't gonna lie. I took whatever on it was off. I put it back on the rack and just walked out the store.
Man.
So when I
do
saw
I have
that
blonde
part,
hair now?
Yeah.
Blonde?
so when I saw that part, I was like, oh,
Great.
they really going in that they older. That they
I really appreciated that. And then
Yeah.
like the whole retirement and then,
So the movie ends. They're at somebody's house or whatever.
You know, that's
Marcus
gotta
has the baby.
Yeah.
That's
Did
gotta
they say they were
That's
retiring?
literally from the Fast and Furious movie too.
Oh yeah, they having a barbecue.
Family.
yeah.
But
I think they had Coronas.
they might have. Did they say they were retiring?
Marcus
No.
said he was retiring, but then at the end of it, I don't know if he is retiring.
Right. He makes it like I'm back now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
okay,
Bad
cool.
boys for life.
That's fine.
Because
right.
this is the thing. I hope that they move into more of it. Like Martin moves in more of an administrative position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then stuff still happens to him.
And let Mike
Yeah.
run ammo.
Yeah, like not just
Yeah.
Mike run ammo. Martin is like a desk sergeant or like inside the building, kind of like Terry
Crews,
is.
Brooklyn
And then-
Nine-Nine, yeah.
But still, stuff happens like, and
Or
he's
he's
like,
training.
yeah, and
next-
he keeps getting into situations where he has to be
Yeah.
in a gunfight. He's like, that's not what I did. I wanted to sit my ass down.
Yeah.
And then like bad guys show up. He's like, Mike, just shooting from behind the counter.
Honestly, what I hope, I don't know if we wrapping up or not, for the next movie, how we talk about them going to different countries, they're going to either Japan or China next movie. Because all franchises
Oh,
somehow
Bad
end
Boys
up-
Tokyo
Yeah.
Drift.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And
Wonderful.
I also want Mike's son, and I want Reggie's son to come together as a team.
I really thought Reggie was
Wait,
going to
how?
join the team.
That's going to be a big age
It's gonna
gap.
be age gap.
No.
Reggie's son?
No.
I'm sorry, not Reggie's son, Reggie.
Oh, okay.
Reggie.
It was like
that would
Reggie's
be
son.
cool.
Yeah.
What?
That would be cool if Reggie and Mike's illegitimate Mexican hitman killer son.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's a deadly team because we see, he was a Marine, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he joined that. Come on, man. And
I-
then Mike and Marcus look at each other like, that's two and too much. Well, we just did that like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. I think it's a better movie than all three. 2 is still my favorite, but man, this movie was really good.
Two's a classic.
It was really good.
I miss John Sally that he wasn't in the movie
Yeah.
because he wasn't the first two. I would have liked to have
Yeah.
seen him just sitting at the desk and just typing. That, but it's fine.
Because he was locked up in the.
He was locked up in the first one. They got him out in the second one.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
They got him. He got out in the second one because he was like the Lakers. He was like, man, floor seats. You could see the.
Yeah. Leroy's gonna go watch Bad Boys now.
Yeah.
I think we.
I might go watch that at my desk right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we. This is it.
I
Right?
think that's it. Anything?
Oh, one last thing I want to say. I want to see a Bad Boys Rush Hour crossover. That's what I want in life.
I don't know if we're ready for that.
What?
I need Rush Hour to be better.
Yeah, it can't just be Jackie Chan.
I just need it only because Rush Hour 3 is not on the level of Bad Boys 3
It's
was.
not.
No, you know what? You know what?
You know what I mean? Like in terms of being mature,
Bad
That's
Boys.
because it
I
was
feel like it's a
made.
different. It was made a while ago. That's
Yeah.
I'm
true.
gonna be honest with you. The franchise that needs a crossover is Bad Boys with Fast and Furious.
Oh, for sure.
But this
now
one,
That's
with
Man,
with this one,
man.
with
We
this
good.
one,
Like,
This
this
is
is
Fast and
good.
Furious. They trying to be Fast and Furious.
Tyrese linking up with
no, they're
I mean,
not.
you know they friends, though.
But I'll be honest with you, they're not gonna let Tyrese, because Tyrese gonna try to hang out and be like, nah, man, we good over here, and then he gonna be upset, and then Luda gonna be like, hey, come on back, man, we always love you, and then they gonna make fun of Tyrese. I mean, I could see it.
Y'all leave Tyrese alone.
Tyrese need to leave.
Man, Tyrese going through stuff.
We
all
didn't
the
make
time.
those videos.
Yeah.
We didn't bully Tyrese. Tyrese
Woo,
bullied
let that
himself.
man figure out what's
okay,
going on.
All right, guys.
overall good movie, man.
We're gonna wrap this up. Again, we really appreciate. If you made it this far, that means you really like us,
God bless you.
or you really like Bad Boys.
Yeah.
We'll
so,
take either or. Yeah.
So we let us know in the comments down here. Like, comment, subscribe. That's where that super goes right there. Let us know.
Something for me.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'll do this one.
I'll do this one.
Let us know what
If
you
you
think.
do it, it'll be in 2 days by the time it goes up.
They don't need to see
Sir,
how the sausage is
sir.
made. God.
It don't take 2 days.
I mean, it won't be your fault. It'll be a computer's fault. It'll take 2 days.
Ooh.
Y'all have a happy King Day,
Sir.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Where can they find us?
Where they at right now?
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WLTX.com. Bad Boys for Life, baby. We out.
Bow, 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 bow.